8 tonight. In 5 minutes here on BBC1 Wales from St David's Hall, Cardiff, a service of carols for Christmas. That's after the news now from Moira Stewart. It's 6:25.
The main story this Christmas Day, the search for bodies and wreckage from the Lockerbie air crash continues through the holiday. And relatives of the dead take their grief to the site of the disaster. Good evening. The victims of the Pan Am plane crash have been remembered at church services throughout the country. And relatives of the Americans who died have visited the scene of Wednesday's disaster. Emergency teams were served a Christmas meal before continuing the search for bodies and wreckage. We're sorry about that. We'll come back to that story in a moment. The Archbishop of Canterbury, Dr. Robert Runcie, included a prayer for the people of Lockerbie in his Christmas sermon at Canterbury Cathedral.
Just when it seems we are becoming complacent in our comfort, terrible tragedies disturb our selfishness and create a response which is instant, generous, and imaginative. Out of the darkness of suffering comes the light of a remarkable affirmation of our common humanity.
Pope John Paul, in his Christmas message, appealed for worldwide help to repair the damage caused by the earthquake in Armenia. Speaking to pilgrims in St. Peter's Square, the Pope also called on scientists to increase their efforts to find a cure for AIDS. The cost of yesterday's closure of 3 North Sea oil platforms could run into many millions of pounds. Production was stopped when a floating storage unit in the Fulmer field broke free from its moorings, narrowly missing the platforms. The tanker is now being towed to Norway for repairs. The owners say they're expected to lose about £2 million a day.
I have absolutely no idea at the moment, and until we know what has happened, it is impossible really to speculate. But we're certainly talking weeks rather than days, and possibly months rather than weeks.
The Queen, who yesterday made a special addition to her Christmas message, remembering the victims of the Lockerbie disaster, is spending Christmas at Sandringham. It's the royal family's first Christmas in Norfolk for 25 years, and a large crowd gathered to greet them at the local parish church this morning. The victims of the Pan Am plane crash have been remembered at church services throughout the country, and relatives who have visited the scene of Wednesday's disaster, emergency teams were served a Christmas meal before continuing the search for bodies and wreckage. And that's it for now. The main news tonight is at 9:10.
Hello to you. Well, I hope you're enjoying Christmas Day, one in which has turned out to be one of the mildest that we've known for quite a long time. And certainly a very mild night tonight. Temperatures no lower than 7 or 8 degrees Celsius, the mid-40s Fahrenheit. A lot of cloud around, as you would suspect, some rain up in that far north, coming across Scotland into Northern Ireland as we go through into tonight, and quite misty, as you can see, on the western side in particular. Starting out like this tomorrow, some brightness in the far north, but a lot of cloud for most of us, some quite heavy rain over Scotland. That'll be coming southwards through the day, and I think by the end of the afternoon that will have got down into the North Midlands, across Wales, down towards the southwest. In fact, in northern parts of England, down into Wales, it could turn out to be quite a wet day, I think, certainly the second half of the day, any rate. Now, as that rain comes southwards, so clearer weather is going to tuck in behind it. It'll take a time before it gets down into southern Scotland, probably late in the day. But in the brighter weather in the north, as you can see, some showers, particularly in that far northwestern part of Scotland. Well, it's going to be another mild day again tomorrow, as you can see, exceptionally mild down in the southwest. 13 Celsius is 55 Fahrenheit. Southwesterly winds freshening up, quite windy in the north, though. Well, that's just about it from me. Bye-bye.
Comedy for Christmas Day on BBC1 from Bread. Those boisterous Boswells